All right, so with that, we're going to pick up in Matthew's 9th chapter. First, we're going to read it in the Hebrew, and then we'll read it in the English. Okay. No, I ain't saying it out yet.
You don't send out the picture, right?
Hmm?
You didn't copy the page, right?
I did. I sent it to him. Mm-hmm. So, got it? While you rod? All right, so this is Matthew chapter 9, verse 1 in the Hebrew. It says, while you rod, ba'ana ya, while you ibar, while you ba'al izarwa, verse 2. Wahanan, it's like wahana hum, maba yayim, olyawa, ayash, naka, abayim, wahawa'a, makashab, ayo, hamata, wayahaya, kara wath, yahawsha, ath, ama one thumb, waya amar, all, naka, bayim, so like ha'abayim, Kazak, Bunyan, Nasa, Lakwa, Laka, Kata Ath, Yaka, verse 3. Waha Na, Nashim, Mun, Hasawa, Paryam, Amarwa, Bala Babum, Maga Dap, Hawa'a, verse 4. Wayara'a, Yahawashai, Ath, Maka Shabwath, so like Maka Shabtham, Waya Amar, Lamar, Takashabwa, Ra'a, Balababkam, verse 5. Kaya Ma Hana Kwal, Amar, Nasa Lakwa, Laka, Kata Athyaka, Amar, Kwum, Hatha Lak, verse 6. Ak, Lama Ain, Thadaiwan, Kaya, Bun, Ha'adam, Yasha Yowa, Hashala Tun, Ba'arataza, Lasa Lak, Katarium, Yawa Amar, Al, Nakar, Ha'abayim, Kwum Shah, Ath, Matathka, Walak, Laka, Al, Ba verse 7. Waya Kwum, Waya Lak, Laba Yathwa, verse 8. Wahama 1, Ha'ain Kara Watham, Za'ath, Hashath, Wamamwa, Wayasha Bakwa, Ath, Ha'alahayim, Ashra, Nathan, Shalat, Salak, Shalatan, Kazah, Labunyam, Adam, verse 9. Wayahaya, Ba'ibar, Yahawashai, Masham, Waya Ra'a, Ayash, Yeshab, Baba Yath, Hama Kas, Washamwa, Mathwa, Salak Mathyam, Waya Amar, Olyawa, Lakar, Akarya, Waya Kwum, Waya Lak, Akaryawan. Verse 10. Waya Haya, Baha Sabwa, Baba Yathwa, Waha Na, Mawa Kasyam, Waya Katayam, Rabiam, Ba'awam, Waya Sabwa, Aim, Yahawshai, Watala Mayadwa, verse 11. Waya Awa, Hapara Washyam, Waya Amarwa, O Thalama Yadyawa, Mada Y Ain, Hamawa Kasyam, Wahaya Salat, Wahaka Tayam, Akol, Rabkam, verse 12. Waya Shemai, Za'ath, Yahawshai, Waya Amar, Al Yaham, Hakazakim, Ayanam, Tazar Tazar Yakim Larapa Kaya Haka William, verse 13. Wa Atham Tazawa Wala Madwa Ma Hawa'a Kasad Kapataz Thaya Wala'a Zabak Khaya La'a Ba'athaya Laquara Ath Hatazada Yakim Kaya Ath Akatayim Latha Sho Waba. We got again Latha Sha Waba, verse 14. Wayagashwa Olyawa Lam Thala Mayadya Yawa Kanan Waya Amarwa Mada Y Adanyawa Slak Anach Noah Wahapar Wum Slak Wahapar Washim Tazamyam Haraba Wathala Mayadika Aya Num Tazamyam, verse 15. Waya Amar Olyakam Yahushai Ayak Yawa Kowa Bunyam Hakapa Lahathabo Ba'aiwad Hakathun Aimham Hana Yawumyam Yum Wala Chak Ma'af, so like Ma'athum Hakathun Wa'az Yataza Wumwa, verse 16. Ayun Masha Yum Matala Yath Kada Shah Ayel Shama Lam Bala Kaya Thana Thak Mala Athwa Mun Hashalama Salak Hashama Law Watharai Hakwar Ya'a, verse 17. Wa Ayun Nawa Thunyam Yayun Kadash Ba'ad Wath Bolyam Pun Yaba Kwaiwa Hana Ad Hana Adwath Wahaya Yun Yashapak Wahana Adwath Ya Badwa Abo Nawa Thunyam Ad Ath Haya Yun Hay Kadash Bana Adwath Kadashim Washan Yahum Yakadwa Yasha Marwa, verse 18. Wayahaya Hawa'a Mada Bar Al Yahum Ath Alha Waha Na Akad Hasharyam Ba'a Waha Shathakwa Lawa Waya Amar Aitha Za Matha Bathya Ba'a Na Washa Yum Ath Yadka Al Yaha Wathak Ya, verse 19. Wayakum Yahaushai Wayalak Akaryawa Hawa'a Wathala Mayadyawa, verse 20. Waha Na Ashar Zabath Dum Shathim Asherah Shana Napasha Ma'akaryawa Wathayai, so like Wathagai Bataza Yatazath Bagadwa, verse 21. Kaya Amara Balabha Ak Agai Baba Gadwa Awa Shai, verse 22. Waya Pun Yahaw Shai Waya Ra'a Awatha Waya Mar Kazakya Bathya Ama Wa Nafka Hawa Shaya I Laka Wathawa Shai Ha'a Shah Mun Hasha Haha Ya'a, verse 23. Waya ba'a Yahushai all Baliath Hashar Waya Ra'ath Amakaloyam Bakala Yam Wa'ath Ha'aim Ahawa Ma. Verse 24. Waya Amar Sawarwa Mapa Kaya La'a Matha Ahala Da Ak Ana Haya'a Waya Wakwa Shakwa Lawa. Verse 25. Wayahaya Akarya Garash Ha'aim Wayaba'a Haba Yatha Waya Kaz Bayada Watha Kwum Hana Ra. Verse 26. Watha Taza Hashama Wa I Haza Afk Bako Ha'arataza Hahaya'a. Verse 27. Waya I bar Yahushai Masham Waya Lakwa Akaryawa Shunya Anashim I Waryam Hawa Ma Taza Aikim Wa Amaryam Kataza Bun Dawad. Verse 28. David. Verse 28. Wakaba Wakaba Wa'awa Haba Yatha Olyawa I Waryam Waya Mar Olyaham Yahushai Hama Yanyam Atham Kayayash La'ol Yadya La Aishwath Za'ath Waya Amarwa Olyawa Kun Adanyanawa. Verse 29. Waya Die Ba I Yan Yahum Waya Amar Ya I Shah Lakam Ka'am Wanathkam. Verse 30. Watha Kak Na Ayan Yahum Wayaga Ire Bum Yahushai Waya Amar Ra'awa Pun Yawa Dai La'a Yash. Verse 31. Waha Ma Ba Taza like Bataza Batazatham Hasha Ma Yayim. So like Hasha Ma Yaiwa Ath Shemaiwa Bakol Ha'arataza Hahaya'a. Verse 32. Hama Yataza Awa Hatazawa Waha Na Haba Ya'awa Olyawa Ayash Ol Alam Akawaz Shad. Verse 33. Waka Ashara Garash Hadash Salak Kashad Waya Debar Ha'alam Waya Thama Hama Nashim Waya Marwa Ma'ai Walam La'ad Da'atha Kaza'ath Baya Sha'ala. Verse 34. Waha Para Washim Amarwa. So like Amarwa Ayel Yadya Shar Hashadyam Magarash Hawa'a Ath Hashadyam. Verse 35. Waya Sab Yahushai Bakol Ha'aryam Wahaka Paryam Waya Lamad Babathwa Kana sa Wathyaham Waya Ba Shar Basha Warath Hamalakwath Arapa Kala Yab Kala Wakol Mada Wa Ba'ain. Verse 36. Wabara Wathya Ath Hama Haha Munyam Nakamarwa Rakamyawa Alaya Hum Kaya Hum Matha Elapim, Wanadakim, Kataza, Ashra, Ayan Laham, Ra'ah. Verse 37. Az Yada Bar, Lathalama Yadyawa, Waya Amar, Rab, Aqua Tazar, Salak Aqua Tazayar, Waha Pa'alyam, Waha Pa'alyam Ma'ai, it's like Ma'aitium. Verse 38, last verse in the Hebrew. Lakun Hath Kananwa O Ba'al, Aqua Tazayar, Lasha Lak, Pa'alyam, Lakwa Tazayarwa. All right, so that includes the Hebrew. And we'll go to the English. So, Matthew chapter 9 and 1. So it says, and he entered into a ship and passed over and came into his own country. And behold, they brought to him a man sick of the palsy, lying on a bed. And Yahushua, seeing their faith, said unto the sick of the palsy, Son, be of good cheer, thy sons be forgiven thee. Right? So again, like we mentioned before, first off, it says, and he entered into a ship and passed over and came into his own city. What was that talking about?
The city he came out of?
Mm-hmm.
When he was born in Bethlehem.
Mm-hmm. But where did he grow up?
Nazareth, called Nazareth.
He grew up in Nazareth, right? So that's the city. He was born in Bethlehem, but grew up in Nazareth. Right.
It says, out of Egypt I call my son.
Right. So what's that talking about? Yes, that's one of those
You could be Egyptian.
yeah, that's one of those stumbling block scriptures. The Egyptologists say, see, even in your book, you said he came out of Egypt. Why you guys are so against Egypt? Said, even in the Bible it says he came out of Egypt, right? He was just there for a period of time, fleeing from being murdered. That's why he was there. Right? He wasn't an Egyptian by nationality. But reading again, it says, came into his own city, and behold, they brought to him a man sick of the palsy, lying on the bed, and Yahushua, seeing their faith, said unto the sick of the palsy. So again, because of his faith and a belief, he was able to be what? Healed, right? Son, be of good cheer, thy sins be forgiven thee, right? So there's times when you read throughout the Gospels that a person's condition or situation because of sin, right? Sin got him in or her into that circumstance by which they was in at the time Yahushua came to heal him. There was times when Yahushua warned him and he said, you're healed now, but go and sin no more, lest a worse thing happen unto you. Right?
Right.
So it's not always that just because you got healed, if they got healed, that was it. No, you still got to stay the course. Because if not, if you like the man who says, I got to go back and let me bury my father, or I got to go and, go entertain the people at the house, and you turn away from what your mission is, right, then you're going to be taken away. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth, as Yahushua said in the last verse. From out of the kingdom of the children of the kingdom, a lot of them ain't going to make it, right? So here.
I missed that first sentence there.
As far as for what did I say?
You brought up that.
Oh, as far as for the sin, like the sin, sometimes got certain individuals into the circumstance they was in, whether it be blind or whether it be there was a palsy, so forth and so on. Right. I forget the verse on the top of my head. I'll find it, but when Yahushua healed a brother, he told him to go and make sure you don't sin again, lest a worse thing happen unto you.
Okay.
Right? Because I just got you out of this one. I just healed you from this one.
Right.
Right? And that's why it says here, son, be of good cheer, thy sins be forgiven thee. Right? So why is it associating that with him healing him? Is because that's what got him there, and he's now forgiven of him his sins. Right. He's healing him. Now take this ministry and make sure you stay the course. Right? A lot of us have gone through sin prior to now encountering Yahushua, as it is written. But now once we come into this truth, the Most High wipes the sin away. Right? He wipes the sin away. Right. Now, certain issues and circumstances may continue to happen, trials and tribulations will still happen to us to test our faith, right, to see how long we're going to stand by Yahushua and the Most High, right, to see how wise we are of dealing with the circumstances. Sometimes, like even you read in Apocrypha, it says that you shouldn't abhor or neglect herbs. There's some things that's right before you that the Most High has given to you in wisdom to how to deal with yourself. Right?
You should, what is that in Apocrypha?
About not neglecting herbs, like medicines and things that the Most High can give you to heal yourself. Right. Like he can give you that sound advice about things that you need to go and research and search. Right. But if you ain't even doing that, or if you're neglecting those things the Most High is given out of the earth, then maybe you need to sit there for a while with that circumstance. Maybe you need to check out other things that I have is there, but you're just not paying attention. And until you pay attention, maybe you have to go through some things. That's one area. Not to say that's all there. No, that's one facet. Everybody's different no matter how the Most High deals with you. Right. Y'all can none.
Yeah, because all these medicines come from a source.
Mm-hmm.
From a certain source, but they're not going to tell you.
Right.
Right.
So because you're going to try to do it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Like then you won't have to give them no money. You won't have to pay the doctor no more money, and the system will go broke. That's why they don't give you the source of what they got.
I mean, first off, a lot of stuff can be toxic to your system, so careful what portion. So they study that too.
Yeah, really. See what I'm saying? This medicine that they give out today, it don't heal you. It just prolongs your condition, but it don't cure you. Right. You know what I mean? But if you was to really go to the source of where they got that medicine from, you could really be healed. Mm-hmm. But they only give you a little bit of the stuff just to knock it down so you can come back to them.
Come back.
Yeah. Keep paying the money. Mm-hmm. But no, the part I was saying that you led up to the part of weeping and gnashing of teeth. Were you saying weeping and gnashing of teeth? Because say after you've been healed of your sins and then you go back and do the wrong thing, then there's no hope for you and you go to weeping and gnashing of teeth. Is that what you were saying?
Right. So when we read in the last chapter, Yahushua mentioned before you came in Matthew's the 8th chapter in verses 11 and 12 about the kingdom. And then he preceded it, but speaking about how there's going to be a lot of us who think that they're going to be let into the kingdom, but they're not. They're going to be cast out. Doors going to be shut. And at that moment, there shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth, is what Yahushua stated. Right. The scripture that I wanted was in St. John, the 5th chapter, what I was speaking about. St. John 5. St. John 5 and 5 and 5, but I'm gonna jump. Right, St. John 5 and 5. It says, and a certain man was there at this pool where everybody was to come to go and get healed, right? It says a certain man was there which had an infirmity 38 years, right? So for 38 years, he's been dealing with this infirmity, sickness that he had. Right. It says when Yahushua saw him lie and knew that he had been now a long time in that case, he saith unto him, wilt thou be made whole? So he's now bedstricken, he couldn't walk. Right. right? So he's there, almost something like someone with the palsy. Yahushua sees him there and then goes up to him and says, listen, will thou be made whole? The impotent man answered him, saying, sir, I have no man to put me into the pool. But while I am coming, another steppeth down before me, meaning everybody wants to go rush to be healed. Nobody's thinking about him. Everybody got to lose their spot to go and bring him in. They think about themselves. So he's like saying, I don't have nobody to help me. Right? Right. So then it says, verse 8, Yahushua saith unto him, rise, take up that bed and walk. Right? Meaning now you've just been healed. Right. And immediately the man was made whole and took up his bed and walked. Right. And on the same day was a Sabbath day. And the Jews therefore said unto him that was cured, is it lawful? It's like, it is a Sabbath day. It is not lawful for thee to carry thy bed. He answered them, he that made me whole, the same said unto me, take up thy bed and walk. So they're looking at it as far as from the carnality of the law, as far as for carrying burdens on the Sabbath day. It's not the time for you to go and start picking up wood and carrying things on the Sabbath. It's supposed to be a day of rest. But he like, look, the person who healed me took up this bed and walk with the bed, right? So now Yahushua, of course, he understands the law. This is why Yahushua came to give us more clarity about things that we can and cannot do within the realms of keeping this law. Whereas before it was just like, I'm not going to go pick up that thing. So if it was someone saying, hey, I'm going to heal you, pick up your bed. Nah, it's a Sabbath day. I'm not doing that. Right? But this is a good thing. This man had just been healed, and now he's going to go and minister and tell what just happened. Remember, this was something I said a long time ago when brothers didn't want to catch the train to go and preach or go to minister or keep the Sabbath day. It's like, oh, no, it's a Sabbath day. I'm not going to go and buy or sell or this, that, and the third. It's a Sabbath day. But you're going to go and do a good thing like this guy was doing. Listen, don't get on me. He told me that I can do it. Right. So if this man was given license to go and to that which was good just happened to him, right, we now have to draw from that the lessons learned on how we operate. Right? It says, then ask him, what man is this that said unto thee, take up thy bed and walk? And he said that it was, and he that was healed was not who it was, but Yahushua had conveyed himself away, a multitude being in that place. So as they're asking them, who was it that told you to take up your bed? By that time, Yahushua already left. So he looking around the crowd and he can't find him. There's a whole bunch of people there. Can't see him. Now, here is the verse 14. And afterward, Yahushua findeth him in the temple and said unto him, behold, thou art made whole. Just got healed. Sin no more, lest a worse thing come unto thee. Oh, okay. Right? So that's why he said before, your sins have been forgiven. Because sometimes those sins have you in the circumstance or situation that you're in. Yeah. That's what happened to this individual. Yahushua came and healed him. Right. Now go and sin no more. Right. You thought you couldn't get out of the bed and you was bedridden, it'll be worse. Right? So faith, along with you not sinning anymore, go hand in hand. Right? Our faith is what got us here. Our works is what keeps us here. Right? You can't just be here in faith and do no works. Or you can't think that you're doing the works, but don't have the faith of Yahushua. Right? That's why Yahushua alluded to in the last chapter when he said, a lot of people are going to say, yeah, haven't I done this? Haven't I done that? Nah, you're doing it according to man. You're not doing it according to my will. You're not doing it according to the Most High's will. So those go hand in hand, having the faith and being not a sinner. All right, everybody tracking? So now let's go back to Matthew 9.
That was John 5:14.
I read from John 5:5 to verse 14. And now we're back to Matthew 9, and I'm going to read 2 again. And behold, they brought to him a man sick of the palsy lying on a bed. And Yahushua, seeing their faith, said unto the sick of the palsy, son, Be of good cheer, thy sins be forgiven thee. Verse 3. And behold, certain of the scribes said within themselves, this man blasphemeth. Right? So when they saw Yahushua heal this man, the scribes that was present, they said Yahushua was a blasphemer. Why did they say that? Because he's forgiven sins. And why is that to them blasphemous?
Only God.
Because they think only the Most High is supposed to do that. So you could write down Mark 2, 5 to 7 to link with this. Mark 2, verses 5 to 7.
Mark 2.
Which reads, it says, when Yahushua saw their faith, he said unto the sick of the palsy, son, thy sins be forgiven thee. But there were certain of the scribes sitting there and reasoning in their hearts, why does this man thus speaketh blasphemies? Who can forgive sins but God only? Right? So that's why they said he was a blasphemous, is because they figured, or they understood at that moment, that was only the Most High that can forgive sins. But the only begotten of the Father, who's come to do the will of the Father, he's about to expound on his position. Now let's go back to Matthew 9. Verse 3 again, it says, and behold, certain of the scribes say within themselves, this man blasphemeth. Yahushua, knowing their thoughts, said, wherefore think ye evil in your hearts? Meaning that he was disrespecting or blaspheming against the Most High. Verse 5, for whether is easier to say, thy sins be forgiven thee, or to say, arise and walk, right? Think about it. If this man has been laying here for a long period of time with this kind of a illness, and I just come up and I say, your sins is forgiven and you're healed. How can I just easily heal this man who no one else can heal? How can I just easily do that? If it comes from the Most High, right? That's what the people realize, that now he is the Son of Man sent from the Most High. But the scribes was focusing on the sins be forgiven, not weighing the two. How is he doing this? Preaching about the Most High and then healing at the same time. Which one is easier then? That I can just say your sins are forgiven, or arise, get up and walk, right? Verse 6, but that ye may know that the Son of Man hath power on earth to forgive sins, right? So now you understand that the Most High has given him power to forgive sins. Not only to just heal people, but also to forgive their sins. Right.
So back in the days, we would offer sacrifice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Most High accepted and fine.
Mm-hmm.
Or the Most High then a prophet, right?
Mm-hmm. They didn't even do that. You would offer up a sacrifice, but still, even in offering up a sacrifice, because the Most High says he didn't care about the sacrifice, even though it was in the law, because it was about the intention. Because now Israel started to offer up sacrifices with an agenda in mind, right? Because you could just look at it for the law and say, hey, I just committed a sin. The Most High said I can offer up a sacrifice, so I'm going to go offer up a sacrifice. But if I'm not sincere, I'm doing it because the letter of the law says it. The Most High says, I don't care about the sacrifice no more. Because you're not obedient. You're not a willing participant. You don't really have the remorse that you should have, because you're just going about it because it's now easy. So that's what it tells you in 1 Samuel 15:22, right? It's rather the Most High rather you obey than sacrifice. Right. So now your spirit, your mind could be good. But now here it is. All the while, we always understood that the Most High is the only one who has that authority to say or to forgive someone's sins. Right. The Most High can send a messenger or angel or whatever to say, yeah, you have been pardoned, or you've been cleansed, or you've been made whole. Now the Most High has another figure there doing this, who's saying it as if he is the one in authority, which the Most High has given him that authority. The scribes don't see him as the Son of the Most High. So that's why they're saying he's blaspheming. That he healed that man. They're not glad for that man that he's healed. Hey, man, this guy just healed this guy and said his sins forgiven. Man, this guy just went and did this on the Sabbath day. Why? Because they're looking for something wrong with Yahushua. Okay. They're looking for something to clearly condemn him with. Okay. They're not looking from the perspective of, yo, could he be the Messiah? Look what he's saying. He's fulfilling the same things that was in the Old Testament. Their faith ain't there. Right. They're rejecting him, right? So that's why they feel this way. Exactly. So reading 6 again, it says, but that ye may know that the Son of Man hath power on earth to forgive sins. Then saith he to the sick of the palsy, arise, take up thy bed, and go unto thine house. He has power to do both. And now they're seeing it, and now they're looking at and saying he's blaspheming. Not questioning, how is he doing this? But then on the other hand, when they did question him, they said, oh, he's doing this by the power of, he's doing this through Beelzebub. He's doing it through the devil. And Yahushua said, well, if I'm doing it through the devil, how are you guys doing it then? What are you guys working with? Oh, they had to leave that alone. They had to leave that alone. Because then if that's the case, then they themselves will be looked at as demons. They themselves will look at as devils, as Beelzebub. So they had to leave that. They had to scratch. They had to find something else to try to hang Yahushua with. He's blaspheming. Right? Reading on verse 7. And he arose and departed to his house. But when the multitude saw it, they marveled and glorified Yahweh, which had given such power unto men. See, the believers recognized where this came from. Those who was the ones really with an open mind and open heart looking at Yahushua, it was like, oh, this is the Most High that's doing this. So what did they do? They glorified the Most High because the Most High now has given this power to men on earth, specifically Yahushua. 9. And as Yahushua passed forth from thence, he saw a man named Matthew sitting at the receipt of custom. And he saith unto him, follow me. And he arose and followed him, right? So Matthew, we know, was a tax collector, a publican, right? Also had another name. When you read it in Mark 2:14, what was his other name? Huh? Why? He said, why? That's funny. So in Mark 2:14, it says, and as he passed by, he saw Levi, the son of Alphaeus, sitting at the receipt of custom, and said unto him, follow me. And he arose and followed him. So he's speaking about the same Matthew here. His name is also known as Levi, who was a tax collector, a publican. That's why it says sitting at the receipt of custom. That's where they go and do that exchange. You got to come and pay your taxes in each township, in each area, each quarter. They had someone to do that, like the brother.
Where was that again?
Mark 2:14.
Oh.
And as you read down, the Mark is going to go into the same story.
Levi, son of Levi.
Mm-hmm.
Son of the tribe of Levi.
So verse 10. And it came to pass, as Yahushua sat at meat in the house, publicans, tax collectors, and sinners came and sat down with him and his disciples. So it wasn't just him there, right? He's there with the rest of his disciples who are in Matthew's house with other publicans, right? So they're having a feast. And then it says that, verse 11, and when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto his disciples, why eateth your master with publicans and sinners? Right? Because they're looking at the people and separate them like, oh, these guys, publicans is not accepted, right? Because they what? Tax collectors. They're here to take a portion of your earnings to give it to the Romans, right? So they were not welcomed. And then you had those who were looked at or viewed as sinners who were separated from the common folk. They didn't hang out with the leaders of our people at that time. I was saying, looking at seeing Matthew in there, it was like, how come your master's sitting in there eating with these guys over here, man? These guys shouldn't be associated with, right? These guys is wicked and evil. They're sinners. If he's such of a master, why does he commune with them, right? Verse 12, but when Yahushua heard that, he said unto them, they that be whole need not a physician, but they that are sick, right? So he's come to heal. He's come to save. If you are okay, why do I need to come to you? It's like a doctor, right? His position, his office, his profession is to heal the sick. If you're perfectly fine, he's not having you come in. There's no need for you to be there. You're okay. You're not going to go see him, right? This is the position that the Pharisees are in, because they themselves don't see that they need any help. They themselves don't see that they need Yahushua to come and minister unto them, right? Or spiritually heal them. So Yahushua said, I'm here for the sick. These sinners are the ones that need help. These publicans are the ones that are outcasts. I'm here to help them. I'm here to bring them back in, right? Verse 13. But go ye and learn what that meaneth. Meaning right now it's probably over their heads. So you got to go take some time and learn about what I just said. And at the same time, it says, and I will have mercy and not sacrifice. For I am not come to call the righteous, but the sinners to repentance. Right? Like Yahushua said when you read in John, the 3rd chapter. John 3:17, where it says, for Yahweh sent not his son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved. Right? So I didn't come to sacrifice, to condemn, to kill. I came to have mercy. I came to save lives this trip. The next time Yahushua comes, that's when there's going to be a big sacrifice going on. That's when there's going to be a lot of weeping and gnashing of teeth, right? That's when that's going to happen, not this trip. I'm coming to help these brothers and sisters. That's his objective, the first trip. So that was St. John 3:17. To link with verse 13. You could also link Matthew's 18:11, the verse that's eliminated from the Jehovah's Witness Bible. Yeah, it's not there. It's just a hyphen there. 18:11. Yeah. Which reads, for the Son of Man is come to save that which was lost. So now back to Matthew's 9:14 now. It says, then came to him the disciples of John the Baptist, saying, why do ye and the Pharisees fast oft, but thy disciples fast not? Salat, why do we and the Pharisees fast oft, but thy disciples fast not? Right? So now Yahushua is with the disciples, and they don't see them fasting as often as everybody else is doing. So they questioning that. They're looking at them as being quote unquote spiritual men, but this piece is just confusing or complexity to them. Verse 15. And Yahushua said unto them, can the children of the bride chamber mourn as long as the bridegroom is with them? But the days will come when the bridegroom shall be taken from them, and then shall they fast, right? So as much as while Yahushua is with them, imagine even right now, all this is going on, all this craziness is going on. Yahushua was right here. If he was coming and going, man, that's like the best thing. Everything else is like, man, I don't even hear all this noise. I'm with Yahushua. I'm learning and bearing witness to his every move, every healing, every teaching, every exhortation, everything. Yeah. Even how he's dealing with the Pharisees and the Sadducees, how he's chastising them, everything. I'm watching everything with him. So I'm in the bag right now. I'm happy to be with Yahushua. So he's like, they can't mourn while they with me. When I'm gone, that's when they're going to mourn. But in my presence, it's a happy occasion, right? Now, whole list, go to St. John 3. St. John 3. And 28. So St. John 3 and 28 says, you yourselves, this is John the Baptist speaking, you yourselves bear me witness that I said, I am not the anointed or the Christ, but that I am sent before him. As he that hath the bride is the bridegroom. But the friend of the bridegroom, which he was, John, which standeth and heareth him, rejoiceth greatly because of the bridegroom's voice. This, my joy, therefore, is fulfilled. So Yahushua in John the Baptist's eyes, he said the bride is for the bridegroom. Israel is now really sent, they're waiting for the bridegroom, which is Yahushua. I was the one, the friend that was sent before him. But as for right now, he says, listen, I'm the one that's standing and hearing him, and I'm rejoicing. My joy is fulfilled because I'm with him. I'm hearing him. I'm seeing him. Now, once he goes away and you're left with what's left here, then that's when you are mourn. That's when you will fast. That's when you will pray that Yahushua returns swiftly, right? That's when it'll happen. But while he's there, he's not fasting. When Yahushua comes back, we're going to be in our bag. We're going to be rejoicing and feeling greatly appreciated for being in his presence, right? We're not going to have to worry about captivity and none of these other things anymore. So at the time he was with them, man, you're seeing the express image of the Most High right there before you. The closest thing that we have to the Most High was there with them. What more would you could ask for? Yao Kanan. Mm-hmm.
3.
Done.
Psalms 126 and 1. When the Lord turned again the captivity of Zion, we are like them that dream. Then was our mouth filled with laughter and our tongues with singing. Then said they among the heathen, the Lord has done great things for them.
Right. What verse you stopped at?
Verse 2.
Verse 2. So that was Psalm 126, verses 1 and 2. Right. So now keeping in mind, even as you read on in that verse, John 3:28 to like 32, something like that, John the Baptist tells us that he, being Yahushua, must increase and I must decrease, right? So I'm bringing you to a certain point, but what Yahushua is going to do is take you even further beyond, right? So now this is why John's disciples are now questioning how Yahushua's disciples are acting. Why don't they fast? Why y'all not fasting? Because they now needed to be filled with more of the Spirit of the Most High through Yahushua to get them to that level, right? To get to where they needed to be. So now the Spirit, we know Yahushua is the door. Yahushua is that gatekeeper. You can't get to the kingdom to the Most High without going through Yahushua first. So this is now what Yahushua is trying to explain even to them. Not to say that John's disciples were wicked. They just got to a certain point and still were just following after what John left. They weren't Yahushua's disciples yet. They were still following John. They needed to now come and follow after Yahushua. And if they didn't do that, they themselves wouldn't make it. They themselves would be weeping and gnashing of teeth if they don't come and accept Yahushua and be a part of his discipleship. Now, verse 16, you about to say something, y'all gonna? Okay. It says, no man putteth a piece of new cloth into an old garment, for that which is put in to fill it up taketh from the garment and rent, and the rent is made worse, right? So now it's making a comparison to how we are. Like once we receive something, we have to become a certain thing. So it's using this to kind of make sense of it. You can't take a new patch and put it on an old garment, right? Because that piece of that old garment has been washed, it done shrunk, it done everything, right? So now something happens and you put that new patch on it, you sew it in, and now you go wash that again. That new patch now got to shrink. And what's going to happen? It's going to tear and pull against that garment. And that's why I say it's going to cause a rent, right? The two are not compatible. You can't put the two together like that, right? So the new patch has to go on a new garment, right? It can't go into that old way. So with us, when we now came into this truth, we received this word, we received this truth. We can't still be the old way. We can't still operate and act and do the same old things from before. We now have to become new creatures, right? This new patch, this new wine, this new that we're receiving, we have to become new. That's what it says, I think in 2 Corinthians 4:17, I believe. 2 Corinthians 4, I think it's 2 Corinthians. Second Corinthians. Give me 1 second. Five, Salat. 2 Corinthians 5:17, not 4. Gabar, read that real quick. I gotta find my pen.
All right. 2 Corinthians 5:17. Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature. All things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new.
Right. So if you're going to become in Christ, if you're going to be a follower of Christ, you can't be doing the old things. You can't receive this truth. You can't receive this word and then still do the old way. Nah, you have to become a new creature to receive this new truth that you weren't for. Well, technically it's the old way, but for us right now, receiving it is new. Because we weren't born doing this. We wasn't knowing it when we came back in the regeneration of the spirit. Now we are receiving it anew. Right? So that's 2 Corinthians 5:17. So now we go back to Matthew 9:16 again. No man putteth a piece of new cloth on an old garment, for that which is put in to fill it up taketh from the garment, and the rent is made worse. It says, neither do men put new wine into old bottles, else the bottles break, and the wine runneth out, and the bottles perish. But they put new wine into new bottles, and both are preserved. Right? So when you take a new wine, if you read on certain precepts, some of your Bibles where bottles are spoken, it may say wine skins. You know, sometimes they had the wine in it wasn't in an actual bottle, but a container to hold it. Sometimes you see people who had like a little pouch that had the wine, and they pull up the pouch. It was like a wine skin, something that was able to carry. But either one, right? Either one, what happens is when you put that new wine into a bottle, the bottle is then going to expand a bit, right? Due to the fermentation process, right? Now, once it expands, it gets to a certain point, and you pour that wine out, you drink it. You don't want to go and take new wine and pour it into that same old bottle. Why? Because what's going to happen? It's going to burst, because it's already, due to the first fermentation process, it's already been stretched out to its capacity, right? And now it's going to break. So go to Job, the 32nd chapter. Job. Job, after or right before Psalms. Job 32. So Job 32:19, it says, behold, my belly is as wine which hath no vent. It is ready to burst like new bottles, right? Because it needs to have that space or that process to be able to vent when it's doing the fermentation process. So Yahushua said a person doesn't take new wine and put it in the old bottle, right? You have to do it the proper way. You can't take a new patch and put it into an old garment, right? It has to both be new. Both of them have to be of the same. So now you receiving this new knowledge, you now have to transform yourself into the ways following after Yahushua. That's what John's disciples needed to understand, right? Now you need to follow after him, right? And become a new creature in Christ. 19. Come. So I'm going to read verse 17 again in Matthew chapter 9. Neither do men put new wine into old bottles, else the bottles break, and the wine runneth out, and the bottles perish. But they put new wine into new bottles, and both are preserved. All right. Verse 18. While he spake these things unto them, behold, there came a certain ruler and worshipped him, saying, my daughter is even now dead, but come and lay thy hand upon her, and she shall live. So again, the fame of Yahushua went out as he was going out doing his miracles. As more people heard of him, seen him, heard his ministry, the more they began to believe on his word and on his message, right? So here it is. It's another ruler whose daughter is now at a point where it's like she's about to die. And now he's asking Yahushua to come by, see if he can help or heal his daughter. Verse 19, and Yahushua arose and followed him, and so did his disciples. So again, like we said, with Yahushua being there, how great is that to see Yahushua do his thing, to hear him break down and teach, to hear him deal with the Pharisees and the Sadducees, to see him deal with this types of travesties of people dying, people with palsy, people that's blind, people that's this, and seeing how he's interacting with them and doing this stuff. You're learning all of this. You're absorbing all of this from the Son of Man, right? Yeah. Verse 20, and behold, a woman which was dressed with an issue of blood 12 years came behind him and touched the hem of his garment. Right? So now as he's on his way to go heal his daughter, this man's daughter, along the way, he encounters this woman who had this issue of blood for 12 years and came and touched the hem of his garment. It says, for she said within herself, touch his garment, I shall be whole. Again, this is her belief in Yahweh Shai. Yes, exactly. But Yahweh Shai, verse 22, turned him about, and when he saw her, he said, daughter, be of good comfort. Thy faith hath made thee whole. And the woman was made whole from that hour. Right? So as soon as she touched him, she then was made whole based on her faith. But it kind of gets a little bit more deeper than that. Go to Mark 5. Mark 5. And 25. Actually, 24. I'm going to start at 24. So it reads, it says, and Yahushua went with him. This is the same ruler whose daughter is almost about to die. And much people followed him and thronged him. What does it mean when it says much people followed him and thronged him? A lot of people's around him, but what else is going on?
You know, thronging like against them, one another.
Yeah, like so as he's going through the crowd, very famous and popular. Everybody's trying to get hold of him and grabbing on him and tugging him this way, and Yahushua is just moving through the crowd, right? So now as he's on his way, a whole bunch of people is following him and trying to get to him. This is what happens. It says, verse 25, and a certain woman which had an issue of blood 12 years, many things of many physicians, meaning she went to these different doctors and they couldn't do it. They put her through an ordeal. They put her through loops and bounds, and she still had the same infirmity, right? It says, and had spent all that she had and was nothing better, but rather grew worse. So imagine that you have some type of an illness and you go to the physician or the doctors. Right. And as you go, they prescribing and testing and doing all kind of different things, and they ain't getting no better, but worse. Right? So now you probably feel hopeless. You probably feel despair. Then all of a sudden you hear the fame of this man who's supposed to be the Messiah, the Son of the Lord, and that he's healing people. Right. In her mind, she's saying, I gotta get him. I gotta just, if I can just touch him, if I not only touch him, if I can touch the hem of his garment, okay, I'm gonna be healed. Right? Now her faith is on a high level right now because of course she's gone through so much. Right. If he's done this with these other people, of course he can do it for me. Right? Yahweh.
Yeah, first of all, she's unclean and no man would want to be with her, and maybe no woman want to be close to her because she's unclean.
Right. I would say more so the roller part, she's unclean because she's had an issue of blood for 12 years. Right? So right, no, she can't deal with nobody. No man is going to deal with that circumstance. Now, she's gone to the physician and the physicians can't do anything. So she's now, you know, kind of isolated to a degree. You know, you have certain, and you don't know what kind of mindset she is. Maybe she wants to marry and be with a husband and have kids. Can't do it. Right? So now when you read about the reproach of women and how certain women felt the way when they couldn't bear a child for their husband, it's going to be difficult for even to attain a husband, right? Going through this.
One more thing. It says when you go into the word, the actual word, it says you touch the fringe. Right. Right, the hem, right, the hem of the fringe, yeah, at the bottom, right? So now, when you put that in perspective, let's before we get there, right? So now, reading 26 again, and he had suffered many things of many physicians, and had spent all that she had, and was nothing better, but rather grew worse. When she had heard of Yahushua, came in the press behind him, and touched
his garment. We read before was the hem of his garment. So now she came behind the what? The press. Why? Because everybody was pressing to get to him. They was thronging him, right? So if you imagine, if you see, I don't know, some celebrity come downtown and everybody trying to get him, they like this, you know, people, and they don't know, it's just a whole bunch of people. Right. You got a hard time trying to get through. All you feel is just tugging and pulling, right? Right. That's the bodyguard. Exactly. So it says, verse 27, when she had heard of Yahushua, came in the press behind and touched his garment. But she said, if I may touch but his clothes, I shall be whole. And straightway the fountain of her blood was dried up, and she felt in her body that she was healed of that plague. So now here it is that as soon as it happened, when she touched his hem of his garment, touched his garment, immediately she was whole. Not only was she whole, but she felt that she was whole. Standing right there with Yahushua, she was like, oh man, something just transformed in me. Right? Now, verse 30, and Yahushua, immediately knowing in himself that virtue had gone out of him, turned him about in the press and said, who touched my clothes? Right? So now all these people is around, grabbing and pulling and tugging and everything else. But this woman who touched his garment, everybody's grabbing on him, but this woman who came through the press and then touched the hem of his garment, he immediately felt virtue go out of him when she touched his garment. Okay. Now her faith is on a super high level. For him, as all these people is there, he immediately felt it. So now when he does, he turns around to the disciples that's there and said, wait a minute, who is that touched me? Now watch what they say. Verse 31, and his disciples said unto him, thou seest the multitude thronging thee, and sayest thou, who touched me? It's like, listen, Yahushua, what are you talking about? Everybody's touching you. What do you mean, who touched me? Everybody's touching you. Am I supposed to be able to pinpoint one? This is how Yahushua's spirituality and power is on another level, to feel that virtue go out of him, right? And we said years ago, Yahushua is the one who was brought here to heal these individuals. He healed the leper. He wasn't made unclean because he was in contact with the leper. No, Yahushua made the leper clean. Yahushua made this woman clean. Who can make you clean? One would say, but the Most High. Right. But the Most High is now giving that power to Yahushua. So he can't be made unclean by anybody. He's the one that makes you clean from whatever illness or infirmity that you have. Right? And that's why he said the virtue went out of me. He didn't feel uncleanness come in him, out of him into her. Right? Then it says, and he looked round about to see her that had done this thing. But the woman, fearing and trembling, knowing what was done in her, came and fell down before him and told him all the truth. And he said unto her, daughter, thy faith hath made thee whole. Go in peace and be whole of thy plague. Right? So imagine you as this woman who dealt with this for 12 years. Here's Yahushua, here's of Yahushua, and then has this ordeal happen. Now, after it's happened, the emotions that's going on through her, right? Because now she's now has the ultimate confirmation. The faith was there, but now it's confirmed, it's sealed. I'm healed, right? So now outside of her being healed, what then happens? Yahushua comes to her, right? Yahushua now approaches her knowing that it was her that touched his garment. And how does she feel? Listen, she almost feels like she shouldn't even be in his presence, because now what happened? She started to fear and tremble and just fell down. And then after she fell down, what did she do? She confessed everything, right? It says she told him all the truth, everything that she had done, everything that had gone wrong with her. She confessed it and laid it all right there before Yahushua. Now, that's what normally people do when you see them in the mainstream churches and they go down and they say, hey, come down to the altar. And you go down there and then in your mind, you're asking for forgiveness, trying to be sincere. This happened in the middle of the street. Yahushua's on his way to this guy's house. He didn't even get there yet. And he feels this virtue coming out because of the faith of this woman. And right there, it was like the altar call in the middle of the street, and she said everything that happened to her. And Yahushua said, you know what? Wasn't just me. Your faith made you whole. Go. It's implied, go and sin no more, whatever. Your plague. Meaning now you can carry on and be the woman that you need to be, right? Because now you're made whole, right? You're whole as a woman now to go forth. So again, sometimes in reading the scriptures, we can't always ask the why me factor. Why is it me that's going through this? Why do I have to be the one subject to this? Because, in life, I've always tried to tell myself, whatever things befall me, that there's somebody out there who got it worse, right? You think you got it bad, but there's somebody who probably has it worse and much worse than you. But having these scriptures to try to sustain and maintain your faith, that it may not be tomorrow, it may not be next month, it may not be next year. She dealt with it 12 years before she was healed. The other brother was 38 years having them spirits on him, right? And then when the opportunity came, his faith was able to still get him over that hump and get himself healed, right? We're not talking days. Sometimes we live in an impatient world, a microwave world, as they say, where we want it right now. Like right now, I'm praying. I've been praying for 2 weeks and I ain't get it. 2 weeks. Man, this brother prayed for I know for 38 years. You know how the brother who was down by the pool of Siloam that we just read, you know how demoralizing that must be for somebody to bring you down there in your bed, and you keep seeing people go left and right down to that pool and get healed, but you ain't got nobody to help you. You got nobody. Nobody's trying to help you and put you in that. You know how demoralizing he's feeling? Yeah. But his faith got him to still go back down and have something to breathe out at that pool every time. It's there every time and never wane. And then Yahushua comes and he's recognized, says, you know what? Your faith and got you whole. Take your bed up and rise, man. And it was that easy, right? Dad, that easy for you to just say, Yahushua, take up my bed and rise? It's that easy if your faith is there.
Yeah, I was thinking about, like throngs of people. Just said something happened here, like throngs of people going, and you're like somebody who's lame or paralyzed or whatever, thing like that. Like they can't go through all that crowd because it's so much the crowd.
Yeah, exactly.
It's amazing. For the eyewitness experience, Jesus.
I know she broke down, cried, and everything else. Because I know if it was me, I would have done it. Yeah. I would have broke down and cried right there, and me confessing everything, I'd have had a pool of tears right there.
Yeah. But like what it said, it's the truth.
Yeah. Because I think when we read here in
the Bible, when it goes to the actual words.
Right.
Check the fringe of the garment.
Right, because in Matthew's 9 it said the hem. The other one just said touched his garment, and then over here in Matthew's 9 it says the hem of his garment. Right. So now back in Matthew's 9, I'm gonna read verse 22 again. It said, but when Yahushua turned him about, and when he saw her, he said, daughter, be of good comfort. Thy faith hath made thee whole. And the woman was made whole from that hour. And when Yahushua came into the ruler's house and saw the minstrels and the people making a noise. So now he's back to dealing with the ruler's daughter who was almost about to die.
What verse are you on?
I'm at verse 23. Right? It says, when he came into the ruler's house, he saw the minstrels, right? The singers in the house. So, usually when you have a death or someone is about to die, you have as it said in the Old Testament, the singing women or women who used to sing. But sometimes it was men also, right? You could write down 2 Chronicles. Scripture. Give me 1 second. I just forgot it. Mm-hmm. 35. 25. Second Chronicles 35:25. Actually, start from 24. Yawakanan, if you could read that. Salak, Pathak, if you could read that. Second Chronicles 35:24. Second Chronicles 35.
Second Chronicles 35 and 25. It said, and Jeremiah lamented for Joshua.
Actually, start from 24.
24.
Uh-huh.
His servant therefore took him out of that chariot
Mm-hmm.
and second chariot that he had. Then he brought him to Jerusalem, and he died and was buried in one of the
Sepulchre.
Of his father, and all that Judah and Jerusalem mourned for Joseph.
So Josiah was one of the kings, one of the righteous kings that we had in Israel. But when you read up on his story, the reason that he died is because he went and put himself in the middle of a war or a fight that didn't involve him, right? And it was told them, listen, we don't have, I didn't come to fight against you. Most I sent to go fight against him. But Josiah put himself in this fight and got himself wounded that he died, right? So now he's died and he's brought back to Jerusalem and everyone's mourning him. Read verse 25.
And
Jeremiah
lamented for Josiah.
Mm-hmm.
And all the singing men and the singing women spoke of Josiah and the lamentation to the day, and made them an ordinance in Israel. And behold, they are written in the limitation.
Right. So it says, all the singing men and the singing women spake of Josiah in their lamentations to this day. So when they made their songs, right, when they were singing about Josiah, they put in there their remembrance of Josiah, right? So why did I come here? Because we just read when Yahushua went into the ruler's house, there were minstrels in there. A minstrel is someone who was a entertainer, but like a singer, like old school, old medieval, old dark ages type person who used to sing. And that's what you get. I don't know if you ever heard the minstrel show, where they would go around singing and making like a variety show to entertain people. But here, these were just ones who just sang. In this case, they were singing for the dead, right? And in the singing for the dead, they put good words based on what Josiah or how what he meant to us back then. So now, fast forward back to Matthew chapter 9. 23. So in chapter 9, verse 23, it says, when Yahushua came into the ruler's house and saw the minstrels and the people making a noise, he said unto them, give place, for the maid is not dead, but sleepeth. And they laughed him to scorn. So he's hearing them singing about the young girl. And he's like, hold on. What? Stop. Let me go deal with it. She's not dead. She's just sleeping. Right? Now, when they heard Yahushua say this, they realized in their mind, listen, she's dead. What is this guy talking about? But now this is their first opportunity to deal and see Yahushua, who's now been given authority and power on earth by the Most High. Right. It says, but when the people were put forth, he went in and took her by the hand, and the maid arose. So when he let everybody get out, I'm about to go in there and deal with her. He took her hand and she woke up. Right. Verse 26, and the fame hereof went abroad into all that land. So now here it is. We read about Lazarus being raised. So now here it is. This woman or this young girl has been raised from the dead, because it said also that Lazarus died, but then Yahushua told them he was sleeping. Same way that he's now saying that this young girl was sleeping. But in all actuality, both of them was dead, and Yahushua now had them resurrected. Right? Now, when this happened, it was one thing with the palsy, it's another thing with the issue of blood, it's another thing with the devils that was in this man. Now they're saying Yahushua bring someone back to life, right, that had died. It says, now when that happened, fame hereof went abroad into all the land. Now everybody's talking about him, and they just adding on. And when a story gets told, Israel, we embellish. So it was like, yo, and when he went in there, it was like, man, you could just feel it. Like it just lit up in the house. It lit up in the house. It didn't probably do that, but hey, as the story goes on, you start to embellish. So everybody now is hearing about Yahushua, right?
Why do people exaggerate so much?
Huh?
Exaggerate so much. You see one part of the story, and they'll add to it.
To make it, I guess, sound better. I have a funny, and I spoke about this, I think, in the class. When it comes to experiences that you may have, in comparison to possessions that you have, nothing is better than an experience of memory, right? Because they appreciate over time. Most of the things that we acquire depreciate from the time that we acquire them, right? Even they say diamonds and homes and things are supposed to appreciate, but let the economy take a turn for the worse, or something go wrong, it will depreciate, right? Okay. Jumping out the window. Exactly, right? Your memories, your experiences, nothing can be taken away from it. It is what it is, right? And it appreciates over time. So that great time that we probably, I can look back and say, man, that Passover that we had in such and such year, in my mind, that's the best Passover I've been to. Okay. Or this is the best time I had chilling with the brethren. Now, the feeling that I had that night was probably on level 10. Okay. The feeling that I have right now about it is probably level 13. Right? Because of how it is. Usually when you have something that's at a certain point, I'm surmising it, it's not law or fact. When you have something at a certain height for you, as far as for things that feel good to you or whatever, you always want to get to that, right? It's like it's kind of like somebody who get high, and they say you're always chasing your first high, right? You're always doing everything to get back to your first high, but that's in a negative. This is in a positive, where that moment or that experience is always on a higher level over time. Especially as you get older, it becomes that much. I can remember my childhood, and we used to do this. Oh man, we used to have a great time. We used to play outside. Kids don't play outside no more. You need to be like, man, you guys don't know what you missing. When you was playing outside, it wasn't all that. You were just playing outside. Now, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 years later, you was down on your grandma's farm, and you was doing this and that, and those experiences was just there. It was just that. But now, that's your whole upbringing. Now nothing can take that away from you. Nothing can say that experience is like, in my mind, man, that thing was this. So when that person's seen Yahushua or has witnessed Yahushua healing and God took his bed up, it was like, now it's like, yo, an hour later, not even a day, not a year, an hour later,
Doing something different.
listen, when that brother grabbed that bed, listen, man, he took it with one hand. It was like this. Get out of here. Yes, he was. You know, Israel. To make it even that more grand, right? He took it with one hand and held it over his head and was walking. The scribes over there beefing about him carrying a burden on the Sabbath day. He flicking it in the air. Flicking it in the air. He was flicking it in the air. That's Israel, man. We don't know better. Because even at the time, here's the case. Even at the time, Yahushua is telling them, don't say nothing. Yahushua is saying, go to the priest, go over here, don't tell nobody nothing. That's the first thing he's going to go do. He's going to go tell everybody. Yeah, and you know he's going to do it. Yahushua knew he was going to do it. Exactly. Exactly. We're going to see as we read on. As we read on, it's going to manifest itself. So now Matthew, somebody the hand up. And 26 again, it says, and the fame hereof went abroad into all that land. Verse 27. And when Yahushua departed thence, 2 blind men followed him, crying and saying, thou son of David, have mercy on us. Right? So it goes from one to the next to the next. Now you got 2 blind men. And when he was coming to the house, the blind men came to him, and Yahushua saith unto them, believe ye that I am able to do this? They said unto him, yeah, Lord. Then he touched that, then toucheth he their eyes, saying, according to your faith be it unto you. Right? So the precursor here wasn't that he was just randomly just healing people. Yahushua knew who we are before we knew who we were. Right? But he's looking and examining our faith to see how much of it we have in order for us to be blessed with that healing. Right? So that's why in this case, that's the first thing he asked him. He said, listen, do you believe I can do this? Yeah, Lord. And he's seeing, and Yahushua is looking through the flesh and seeing his spirit and seeing his faith. And he's like, all right, it'll be done. It's going to be done. You're going to be healed. According to your faith, be it unto you. Now, verse 30, and their eyes were open, and Yahushua straightly charged them, saying, see that no man knoweth it. So after both those 2 men is not able to see, listen, don't let nobody know what just happened here, but just really. The next verse says, verse 31, but they, when they were departed, spread abroad his fame in all that country. Right? They went around spreading this news of what just transpired in there. That's how Yahushua became more popular. That's how more and more people came with all different kind of infirmities that have gone through so much but couldn't be done. Let's go to John 9. Go to St. John, the 9th chapter, and John 9, 1-3. So St. John 9, 1-3, it says, and Yahushua passed by, he saw a man which was blind from his birth. And his disciple asked him, saying, Master, who did sin, this man or his parents, that he was born blind? So we usually go into these verses when we deal with this topic of regeneration of the spirit or reincarnation, because we know that in order for a man to have sin, born blind, that means it had to be in a previous life. That means he had to have walked the earth and to have transgressed the Most High's laws before he was born, right? But that's not where I wanted to go. It says that this man or his parents, that he was born blind. Verse 3, Yahushua answered, neither have this man sinned nor his parents, but that the works of Yahweh should be made manifest in him, right? So Yahweh's understanding that, listen, some of these individuals, some have sinned, like we just read when Yahweh said, make sure you don't go and sin no more unless something worse is going to happen to you. Right. Whereas there's others didn't do any sin. This was the circumstance that happened to them, so that when Yahweh is there, the power of the Most High is made manifest in him. And now when it happens to them, they can go and spread this abroad, that the Most High is working. Remember when we read before, when the woman was healed, those who were there, not like the Pharisees, those who were there, they glorified the Most High right off the rip. Right. The Most High is giving this man this power. Right. So Yahweh is not taking it upon himself. Yahweh is not taking all the glory. He's saying, not saying, I came here to do this of my own will. He said, nah, this happened to this man, that when I come, the Most High could be made manifest in them that believe. That's what he understood. So as that is being made manifest in them, that Most High is now, the Most High is now being spread abroad based on the works. Now, not only is just the works here, because we're reading this chapter and it's dealing with a lot of healing, but then you get into another chapter where Yahweh gets to the teaching. Right? He starts going through different parables, allegories, for them to understand how the state of our brothers and sisters are and how we now need to do better. Right? So that was St. John 9, 1-3. Let's go back to St. Matthew's 9 and 32. It says, as they went out, behold, they brought to him a dumb man possessed with the devil. Right? So when it says dumb, meaning what? When it says he was dumb, he don't know his two ABCs and 2 + 2. What is, because that's how we look at dumbass today, right? A person that just don't have any wit about him. That's not what this dumb is. This is someone who can't speak, right? Someone who can't speak. It says, and they went out and they brought to him a dumb man possessed with the devil. And when the devil was cast out, the dumb spake, right? So now he had 2 things. He had one, he couldn't speak, he was mute, and then he had a devil on him, right? So now when Yahweh came and took the devil off of him, that most likely caused him what he couldn't do that. Right. Now he was able to do what? Speak, right? And the multitudes marveled, saying, it was never so seen in Israel. So now as he's beginning to travel all around, more and more people are seeing for the first time anyone ever do the things that Yahweh is doing, right? Now, is the first time that the Most High has allowed a person to be brought back to life by another individual? No. Right? You read in Kings where Elijah was able, through the power of the Most High, to bring someone back from the dead, right? But the way in which what Yahweh is doing, nah, it's not being seen. How he was able to go from here to there, to there, to there, to there, to there, and then teaching at the same time, and hardly having no rest at the same. There's a lot that he was doing that was just awe-striking to everybody. It says in verse 34, but the Pharisees said, he casteth out devils through the prince of the devils, right? So we read that scripture, or Yahweh Kanan pulled that scripture earlier, as far as for them saying that he did it out of in the power of Beelzebub, right? And then he said, for kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. So then what's the point in that? Why would I be doing it? Why am I casting them out and putting them in swine and killing them? That means I'm now diminishing my own power in my own kingdom. Verse 35, and Yahweh went about all the cities and villages, teaching in their synagogues and preaching the gospel of the kingdom and healing every sickness and every disease among the people, right? So this is what I alluded to earlier. A lot of what we just read in the past 2 chapters has to deal with healing. But he went through teaching and preaching also. Right. So we can't walk away. Anyone can't walk away from just these 2 chapters. It's there, but it's just not expounded upon these 2 chapters. He was doing a lot of preaching. In the midst of his preaching, these are the healings that he was doing. Right. Verse 36. But when he saw the multitude, he was moved with compassion on them because they fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep having no herd. Right. So when he starts to look at you know, Yahushua takes a step back and just start looking at people, looking at the state of the people. It's like, man, look at us, man. Look at my flock. Look at us. Look how we act. Look what we're doing. Right? Oh, let's go to Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes 1:18. In the Bible, not the Apocrypha. So the Ecclesiastes 1:18, it says, for in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge increaseth sorrow. Right? So when we now come to the understanding of the will of the Most High, not just his law, but understanding what the end game is for the Most High's people. And then you put in place what the Lord requires of us, and we see what we've done, and we see what we're continuing to do as a people. And much wisdom, as we attain more wisdom, well, you go home and you see the rest of your family members who don't follow this, or you see the rest of your people in your neighborhoods who don't follow this, or you look on TV and you see the people doing, there's much sorrow in that, because you know the judgment of that is weeping and gnashing of teeth. Right? You don't want weeping and gnashing of teeth, but that's their fate. Right? So now as Yahushua is healing, and that he started looking at, man, there's still a lot of our people, a lot of my servants who ain't there yet. They still passed out in the mind. Right? One could just be exhausted physically, but like it tells you in Isaiah, they fainted from the truth. They fainted. They don't know themselves. We got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of work to do to go out there and get them people over there, and that brother over there, and that brother over there, and that one in Wisconsin, and that one in Russia, and that one over here. We scattered throughout the four corners. Man, that's a lot of us that's out there that still got to get this word. In that, he said, but when he saw the multitudes, plural, he was moved with compassion on them, because they fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep with no shepherd, no one to protect them, no one to guide them, right? No one to feed them, no one to clothe them, right? No righteous person to clothe them, because they're going to get clothed from someone else, or they've been clothed but from the wrong person. But now he's like, ah, man, we got a job to do. So then Yahushua says in verse 37, then saith he unto his disciples, the harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few. Right? The harvest encompasses our people. It's a lot that we got to go out there and deal with. And it's only a little bit of us. Only a few of us. That means it's going to be a harder task for us few to do it. Right. So what are you saying? Man, we got to hire more people. We got to hire more people. Boss, it just can't be us 5, boss. Or it can't be just us 12. More than us 12. You got to hire way more people, boss. We got enough to hire some people. We got a lot to do. Let's get some more people. So Yahushua says, pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest, that he will send forth laborers into his harvest. Pray that the Most High allows us to build up more brothers to come in here and do this work, so that we can go out there and tend to the harvest. Right? This is what I'm always harping on sometimes in the classes and sometimes in the services, when I'm like, look, we got to get more laborers. Yahushua is saying that we got to get more laborers. He's telling us to pray that we get more laborers, because it's a lot to do. That means we need other brothers to step up and start putting in that labor to come and get this harvest, to prepare for the harvest in due season. Yahweh.
Yeah, just like how we right now in one city.
Right.
And we look at it like so many Israel.
Exactly.
One city.
Yep.
And it's tons of cities.
Right. Where did you just go in Charlotte? You was down in Charlotte, right? And you was like, yeah, you was looking for the brothers in the camp, and you thought it was there, but what happened? You ain't see them. You like, man, wait a minute, it gotta be.
I see videos that, and I go to.
You like all these people down here. It's so many people in a big city. You're expecting to see laborers over there, laborers over there, laborers down there, laborers on yonder, right? Because there's so many people. But when you only see maybe two brothers on the corner, you're like, man, it got to be more brothers. It got to be more schools, got to be more camps, got to be more for us to build, right? That's what Yahweh Shah is seeing. Because you're seeing us following after different things, and we need more people to kind of corral us back into the right thing. Again, verse 38, pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest that he will send forth laborers into this harvest, right?
That was doing like a prayer, right?
What you say, Ecclesiastes 1:18?
Ecclesiastes 1:18.
Oh, 1:18.
1:18, Kun.
First chapter 18.
Kun.
Like what you said, when we go home and we're among Israel, and we're like, wow, we want to keep this joy continue, you know, on a daily basis on what we do. Like at work, you know, sometimes at work, if you want to talk to another Israelite, and you want to, or you go out to buy shopping, so, oh yeah, you're an Israelite. It's like, wow, this is nice, you know.
Kun.
Right.
You don't see it.
But you don't see it like that. You be going out there, you know, let's have a conversation. Right, Samad?
Kun.
Let's have a conversation.
So that ends the 9th chapter and today's Sabbath service lesson. Next week, we will be in 2nd Maccabees. 2nd Maccabees in the Apocrypha. Chapters 3 and 4. Wait, the 3 and 4, I think we read. I think it's 3 and 4. Come on. 3 and 4. Yeah, after the service. All right, so that also being said, on the 16th, which is a Tuesday night of January, will be the next new moon. Just so that we want to track it. So, the water for those who dialed in, the live on the teleconference line, logged on to the live stream to participate, and those that's here to participate in the Most High Sabbath service. The Lord's will, everybody receive some spiritual growth out of today's Sabbath service lesson. Most High's will, we'll take that forward into our daily lives and also to exhort others to benefit themselves. For those up here in the Northeast, this weekend is going to be, I think, for the short term, the Achilles heel of this winter weather. We're down in the single digits. Some of us, depending on where you are, in the negatives, -2, -3 degrees. So, you know, I usually say, make sure you yourself stay warm, take all the precautions precautions necessary. Drip your faucets so that you may not don't have any pipe breaks in your homes, because it's so cold that the pipe is freezing over and the pressure cause it to break if you turn it on, and it can't get through. Try the best of your ability to stay warm as possible. You know, if you don't have enough heat, you may need to go old school. I remember when I was growing up in the projects in my projects in Newark, you know, we was used to making sure we get a pot and boil some water, turn the oven on, do something, and that heat kick in, right? Just to stay warm, just to have some heat in the house when something wasn't working. You had that gas stove and pop that thing on, and there it was, just for the moment, to make sure that, you know, those in your homes is to be able to be comfortable and have some warmth. So, you know, got 2 days to bear through this real hard. I know it's been a whole week of it, but these 2 days is really going to be treacherous. So pray to the Most High for all the brothers and sisters, that they're able to make it through this weekend unscathed. And for those that do have some kind of a hiccup here and there, pray to the Most High that and the opportunity to find a safe haven, to find a remedy or mitigation for whatever it is that transpires. All right. So with that, I want to say Ashar Shabbat, happy remaining Sabbath, Most High's will. Everyone have a Tawab or a good upcoming week. Lord's will, we'll hear or see from the brothers and sisters during the Tuesday night class coming up. All right, stay tuned for the closing prayers. And again, Shalom Yashra'Allah. Also, let me not forget, I want to make sure I give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High Yahushua for the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that was brought forth today. It tells you in Corinthians, whatever we do, always give glory to the Most High. Right? So we'll get the blinds. Barakatha Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Asherah, Natalanawa, Pari Hagabin, Dwara Amun, La Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Shai, Ath, Yasha Allah. English translation. Blessed are you, Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, that gives to us the fruit of the vine. Thank you, so be it. To Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, with Israel. I might upon you, Jerusalem, stand and face Jerusalem. Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Baruch Shah, Shammai, Lanawa, Aitha, Yum Yun, Aitha, Shalat, Ma'ika Allah, Waha Alahayim, Tazwadakim, La, Shema Ayah, Barak, Rapah, Magun, Wahakaziyat, Bunya, Yasha Allah, Washalat, Lanawa, Rabiam, Kakama, Rabiam, Da'ith, Rabiam, Bayana, Rabiam, Sabalanwa, Rabiam, Amawan,
one.
Rabium,
Rabium,
Aqua,
Aqua,
Rabium,
Rabium,
Ahabium,
Ahab,
Rabium,
Rabium,
Haganah,
Haganah,
Rokanaya,
Rakanah,
Wasalat,
Wasalat,
Ko,
Ko,
Kata Ayamnawa,
Kalayana,
Lahaakim,
La'akim,
Wa Akua,
Aqua,
Wayasha'ala,
Washa'ala,
from Yad,
from Yad,
Wa Iwalam,
Wabalom,
Bahasham,
Sham,
Yahawashai,
Yahawashah,
from Yat, Salat, Yahawashai, the water,
the water,
Amun.
Aman,
All right, Salak. So it says in the English, Yahweh, the name of Yahawashai, now, right now, send Michael and the righteous powers or angels to watch over, bless, heal, protect, and make strong the children of Israel. Wisdom, much knowledge, much understanding, much patience, much faith, much brotherhood, much love, much spiritual protection, and forgive all our sins. For the brothers and sisters in Israel, always and forever, in the name of Yahawashai, thank you, so be it. Four corners prayer. Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Bahasham,
Basham,
Yahawashai,
Yahushua,
Barak Noah,
Rakna,
Wayasha'Allah,
Washa'ala,
Wabat Yasaparim,
Wakasporium,
Shema Yasharella Yahweh Allah Haynawa Yahweh Achad. Right? Again, Shalom Yashar and Shah Shabbat. Peace to Israel and happy Sabbath.